let's begin our next topic, which is hole preparation. Now, what is hole preparation? Hole preparation is the practical preparation of the hole for what? For the safe stowage and safe carriage of the cargo. So this is what we are doing in pre-planning. Okay, the pre-planning stage includes hole preparation. So that is where you will be doing hole preparation. Now within hole preparation, when the surveyor will ask you, how do you do the hole preparation for a general cargo ship or for a bulk carrier? So this is the answer that you are supposed to give. For a general cargo ship or a bulk carrier, always begin the answer from the top. How are you doing the hole preparation? So hole preparation involves two basic functions. First and foremost thing is look for the physical checks. Okay, do the physical checks. What you will be doing in the physical check? The visual checks. Check for cracks, check for corrosion. Okay, how is the plating? Okay, is it corroded enough? If it is more corrosion is present, then you require chipping and painting to be done in those areas. Okay, check for cracks. If the cracks are present, then you got to replace those areas. Check the frames, check the platings, check your bulkheads, check your decks, check the hatches. Okay, all these things you are going to check in hole preparation. Now we haven't started the answer yet. This is just the introduction part, what you are doing initially. So these are physical checks that you are carrying out. Okay, other checks what you will be carrying out is, one is the physical checks that you have checked, another is the suitability of the hole. As per that you are going to do the hole preparation. Suitability of the hole in the sense, what was the previous cargo that you had carried and what is the next cargo? Is the hole suitable enough for the next cargo to be carried or not? Okay, so this is what you are going to check in suitability of the hole. Okay, so two things, one is physical checks and second one is the suitability of the hole. Now let's talk about hole preparation. How you are going to do hole preparation, how you are going to prepare your hole and check for all the safety measures and make it safe enough for the stowage and carriage of the cargo. So what we are going to always begin your answer from the top. Okay, from here, as if you are entering the hole. So first and foremost thing is the hatch covers. So check the hatch covers, they have to be in intact condition. Okay, check the corrosion of the plating. Okay, check the linings, the rubber linings which are present, then the compression plates, check the trackways, check the hatches. Okay, then as you move down, check for the lightening. Is the hole having enough lightening or not? How is the ventilation? It should have sufficient ventilation. Okay, the ventilation fans, if you have, they are working in intact condition or not. Then check the access ways, the ladders which are present for access. Okay, these are the access ways. Check the access ways. Are they in intact condition or not? Is it safe enough for entering the hole? Check these access ways. Check for cracks within these ladders. Are they properly in proper physical condition or not? Then check the emergency exits. The emergency exits and the signs which are provided for the emergency exits. Are they properly there or not? Okay, these things you have to check when you are entering the hole. So what all checks you have made? You have checked the hatch covers as you are entering. Okay, you have checked the hatches. Then you have checked the hatch combing, the trackways. Okay, the compression plates. Then you have checked the rubber lining also. Then you have to check it for weather tightness. That will be seen in the next slide. How we are doing the weather tightness. What all procedures are there to check the weather tightness of this hatches. Now, as you are moving down, you have to check for lightening. Okay, check the ventilation systems which are present. Okay, how is the ventilation system which are present? Check the physical checks you are carrying out visually. Check for cracks. Check for any defects. Check for any bending of the plates. Okay, these bendings are occurring due to what? Due to torsional stresses, due to raking stresses at sea. These deformations will occur. So you have to check for these things. Now, as you reach the bottom, okay, now what you have to check? You are checking the emergency exits. Okay, then you are checking the bilges. This is where you have to check for the bilges. How are the bilges? They are cleaned or not? Okay, what is the requirement? How much cleaning has to be done? Okay, what was the previous cargo that you carried? So here you will be checking the bilges, okay, and you will be preparing them, cleaning the bilges, carrying, test your bilge pumps over here, okay, they should be working satisfactorily. So these all things you will be doing over here. So as I said, hatches, access ways, ventilations, lightning, bilges, communication. As you are coming down, you have to have a communication equipment with you. Check the communication. How is the communications? The fixed firefighting system. The fixed firefighting system has to be tested out. Okay. Check the fixed firefighting system. It should be working properly. You can do the air compressor test. Okay, check whether the lining is open or not. It should not be jammed in any of the compartments. So everywhere you have to do these tests, okay, and etc. Check for any further tests which are required. So this is just the introduction of hole preparation. We'll be seeing the tests that we are going to carry out for hatches and then further things. So first and foremost point under hole preparation is the hatches. I told you begin the answer as if you are entering the hole. Okay. So first and foremost point is the hatches. So you'll be doing the visual checks first. Check the physical condition of the hatch. Okay. Check whether the trackwells are intact or not. Check for the corrosion plates which are present. Check for the rubber lining. Okay. So this is the physical check that you are doing. Okay. Is chipping and painting required or not? How is the thickness of the plate? Okay. So these all things you'll be checking as under the hatches. Secondly, you have to check the weather tightness of the hatch. What do you understand by the term weather tightness? Weather tightness means all the openings. What are weather tight openings? Weather tight openings are those all openings which are present on the weather deck, which are exposed to weather. Hence they are called weather tight. Okay. What is the main function? They don't allow the ingress of water into the hood. So these hatches have to be weather tight. Should not allow the ingress of water into the hole. So these are weather tight. So check for weather tightness. How are you going to check for weather tightness? There are 4 procedures to check for weather tightness. First and foremost is the visual checks. Second is the chalk test. Third is the hose test. And fourth is the ultrasonic test. These are the 4 methods of checking the weather tightness of your hatches. Visual checks. A person will go inside the hole, okay, and check visually for the lightings. Okay, visual check is also light test. Visual check will also include your light test. Okay, either if it is during daytime, a person will go inside the hole, you will batten down the hatches, okay, then check for lights. If there is an ingress of light, you know this is the place which requires rectification to be done. Second is the hose test. Batten down the hatches, okay, and with pressure of water, okay, use the hoses on the hatches and check for the leakages. Within the hatch, a person will go inside the hatch, okay, and check for the leakages. Next is the chalk test. Now what you are doing in chalk test is, this is your hatch cover, okay. The hatch cover, you are applying the chalk all over the rubber lining. Once you apply this chalk, batten down the hatches. Once you batten down the hatches and then again bring it up. Check where all the chalk is remaining. If the portion where all the chalk is remaining, that is the portion that requires correction to be done, or the rectification which is required. This area needs maintenance. So why does this area require maintenance? Because either the corrosion plate is bent or the rubber lining has been damaged. That is why the chalk is remaining in this area. So 2 things will be there. Either the compression plate has been deformed or the rubber lining has been decreased. In these cases only the chalk will remain. So these are the portions which are defective and maintenance is required to be done in these areas. So this is what you are going to check with chalk test. Then is the ultrasonic test. Now ultrasonic test is the best method as of now, which they are following, but for this you need to have this instrument present on board, in which what you are doing is you are placing a ultrasonic instrument within the tank. Okay, once you place this instrument, it is going to give out ultrasonic waves. Now it is radiating ultrasonic radiations. So these radiations have to be picked up by you. A person will be present on top. Okay, he'll be having this detecting instrument which will be checking for the faulty areas. So if this is the hatch, with the instrument just check the faulty areas. How you will be checking this? The instrument will be detecting the decibels, the sound waves which are coming out, the ultrasonic sound waves which is coming out. This instrument is going to, this is a receiver unit which you are having on board. Okay, it is going to detect around the hatches. You are going to move and check for the detection wherever the sound wave detection is large enough. Okay, so that is as per the manufacturer instructions. You will be getting that above this decibel, that means this area requires rectification or maintenance has to be done within this area. So this you will be checking as per the manufacturer's instruction. So basically carry that instrument, detect the areas, okay, mark those areas and then do the required maintenance. So this is what you are doing in ultrasonic test. So these are the 4 methods of carrying out your weather tightness of hatches. So the next point under hole preparation is excess waste. Check for the excess waste. As you are coming down, do the physical and visual checks for what? For the ladder, for the walkways and the emergency exits. Check whether the signs are intact or not for the emergency exit. Check whether emergency exit doors are opening properly or not. Okay, the maintenance of these doors. Then these all things you will be doing in physical and visual checks. For what? For cracks, for corrosions, for deformations of the excess waste. This is what you are going to do. Third is the lightening. Check the lightening in the hole. The lightening systems present in the hole have to be in proper working condition. That is, if there is any defects which are present, if any of the light is not working, okay, then call the electrician and get it replaced. So this is what you are checking for the lightening. All the lightning system has to be in proper working order. This is what we will be doing under point 3. Point number 4 under hole preparation is ventilation. Now check for the ventilation system which is present on board. There are 2 types of systems which is present on board. They are, first and foremost, is natural ventilation system, and second is the forced ventilation system. When we talk about forced ventilation system, this is where you have fans which are present. Okay, under forced ventilation system you have fans which are present. They will force the air into the holes. Hence they come under the forced ventilation system. Now both your natural ventilation system and the forced ventilation system will carry out surface ventilation as well as thorough ventilation as required by you. Okay, so we'll be looking into how this what is natural ventilation as per the direction of your vent system, how you are doing natural ventilation with the holes, within the holes. Okay, now what is the purpose of your ventilation systems? The main purpose of the ventilation system is, while man entry, okay, you require the hole to be gas free. So gas freeing is one of the main purposes of your ventilation system. Secondly, while carriage of the cargo, what we want, we don't want sweat formation to occur. Okay, that is why we are carrying ventilation. That time also same, maybe you are carrying out natural ventilation or forced ventilation. For what? For preventing sweat formation. Now sweat are of different types. We'll be discussing that also in the next slide. So under the ventilation system, we have forced ventilation and natural ventilation system. Let's look into what is natural ventilation system. Now look at the term natural ventilation system. Using the natural flow of the wind, we are utilizing it for ventilation. Now how we are going to carry out surface ventilation using this vent, and thorough ventilation, will be seeing it. So I am going to use the air and use it in such a way that surface ventilation can be carried out. So what I am doing is, so wind, if it is blowing from this side, okay, so this side will become my windward side and the opposite side is the leeward side. So the funnel, the cowl, okay, the ventilation vent which is present, I'll place it, the one which is present on this windward side, I'll place it into the vent. So this is placed into the vent, and the opposite one I'm placing it away from the vent. So the air enters from here, okay, and will pass like this, resulting in surface ventilation. Now with the natural wind, if I want to carry out thorough ventilation, so I need to increase the velocity of the wind. How I am doing this? To carry out further, I'll be placing my leeward side vent into the wind. What is happening here? The wind is entering. Okay. Now to increase its velocity, I am the opposite side vent or the cowl, I am putting it in the opposite direction. So what is happening? The wind enters from here, moves down, okay, and some of it comes out. This air is also going to push. So the velocity increases, hence resulting in thorough ventilation. This is how the thorough ventilation is done. Okay, by placing the placement of your vent system. How are you placing the natural vent system? So you have one cowl on the starboard side, one cowl on the port side. So how are you utilizing your cowls to carry out thorough ventilation or surface ventilation? This is how it is done. So next is forced ventilation. Now we know forced ventilation we are carrying out with the help of fans. Okay, we have ventilator fans which are present, which is driven with electrical power. So by increasing the number of fans in usage, we are carrying out forced ventilation. By decreasing the number of fans in usage, we are doing surface ventilation. So this is how under forced ventilation, we are doing surface as well as thorough ventilation. Now why we are doing this? To avoid sweat formation. Now what are the types of sweat that are present on board? We have ship sweat and we have cargo sweat. There are two types of sweat. One is ship sweat, one is cargo sweat. Now to understand the concept of sweat, you need to first understand the basics, how this sweat formation takes place. To understand the basics, you need to know what is humidity. What is humidity? Humidity is nothing but it is the amount of water vapor contained in a parcel of air is its humidity. The amount of water vapor contained in a parcel of air is its humidity. What is relative humidity? When I relate this humidity to something, to what? It is the ratio of the amount of water vapor contained in a parcel of air to the amount of water vapor that will saturate this parcel of air at the same temperature is its relative humidity. That is RH. This is what relative humidity is. Then you have another term which is called dew point. What is dew point? Dew point is when this relative humidity reaches 100%. When the relative humidity is 100%, that means the air is saturated. When the air is fully saturated and formation of dew occurs. When if this air is 100% saturated or the relative humidity is 100%, okay, and any further cooling takes place, it will result in formation of dew. The temperature at which this will occur is called a dew point temperature. Okay, so that is your dew point. Now for a sweat to form, so we know how is the dew formation occurring. This is a cold surface. When a relatively warmer air comes in contact with this cold surface, what is happening? It is getting cooler. It is getting cooler below its dew point. Okay, once it is cooled below its dew point, it will saturate enough. It will get saturated and it will reach its dew point and formation of dew will occur. So it is occurring on the surface. Now let's take an example. We humans, on humans, what is forming? Human sweat is forming. Okay. Now if I am traveling in an AC bus, okay, what will happen? I am the cargo. So due to the conditions, what is happening? I am getting cold. Okay. Once I come out from the bus, the air outside is relatively warmer. This air, when it comes in contact with a colder surface, it condenses below its dew point. Hence, formation of sweat will occur, which is called human sweat. Where it is forming? On human. Where will the cargo sweat form? It will form on the cargo. Where will the ship sweat form? It will form on the ship surface. Okay. Now, let's talk about cargo sweat. So, what we want to do? Cargo sweat is forming on the cargo. So, the cargo has to be cold. Okay. So, to make the cargo cold, the ship will be moving from a cold area to a warmer area. When a ship moves from a colder area to a warmer area, what happens? The cargo which is present inside is cold. Okay. This cargo inside is cold and the air outside, it is going to a warmer region. So, the air outside is warm. So, when this warm air comes in contact with the colder surface of the cargo, it condenses below its dew point and formation of sweat occurs, which is called cargo sweat. Okay, this is what cargo sweat is. Let's talk about ship sweat. Now, I want to make the ship surface cold. Okay, so when my ship moves from a warmer region to a colder area, okay, or a colder region, what happens is the air inside the hold is warmer relative to once you go to a colder region. What happens? The air outside is cold. The air inside is warmer. Okay, so your ship side becomes cold. When this warm air comes in contact with the cold ship surface, what happens? It condenses below its dew point and dew formation takes place, which is called the ship sweat. Okay, the formation of sweat will occur. Where is it occurring? On the ship side. Okay, on the inner hull plating. And the sweat which is formed on the inner hull plating is called the ship sweat. Okay, so this is what ship sweat is and this is what cargo sweat is. Cargo sweat will form on the cargo, ship sweat will form on the ship, as well as human sweat forms on human. So this is basic concept about sweat. So point number 5 under hole preparation is bilges. Now as you have reached down, you have to check for the bilges. The bilges have to be cleaned thoroughly, washed, dried. Then maintenance have to be carried out. Maintenance, check the corrosion. If there is any corrosion, you have to do chipping and painting. That's the maintenance you have to carry out. Okay. Then testing. Testing is of the bilge pumps. The bilge pump has to be tried out. Okay. You have to test the pumps. The pumps has to work satisfactorily. So bilges have to be cleaned, washed, dried. Maintenance have to be done, and the bilge pump has to be tested and tried for appropriate working condition. So this is about bilges. Then you have to check for firefighting systems which are present for the cargo hold. The fixed firefighting system, the CO2 system. Okay, you have to blow the CO2 system with the compressed air in order to test it. Okay, if there is any blockage, you will get to know. If there is no blockages, you know the air is passing fine, then it's fine. The firefighting system is clear and it is in good working order. If there is any leakages, then do the maintenance, check the piping system. Okay, so this is how you are going to test and do the maintenance. Then comes the alarm systems which are present within the hold. So for generally in general cargo ships and bulk carriers, you have water ingress alarm system. Okay, this water ingress alarm system needs to be tested. So there is a low level alarm and a high level alarm. Okay, so check those alarm points, check the sensors. Once they come in contact with water, are they getting activated or not? Okay, so that you will be checking the low level alarm and the high level alarms. Okay, then comes hold cleaning. Now the hold cleaning, that is making the hold suitable for the cargo. So suitability comes over here. Hold cleaning. Why you are doing hold cleaning? For the suitability of the cargo. The next cargo that you are loading the hold should be suitable enough to accommodate that cargo safely. For that hold cleaning you are doing. So when I talk about cleaning, you have dry cleaning as well as wet cleaning. Dry cleaning is that cleaning that you do with brooms. Okay, that is dry cleaning. Wet cleaning are of 3 types. One that you do with detergent water or the chemical that you are using, that is wet cleaning. Then salt water cleaning and fresh water cleaning is the final rinse that you give. Okay, fresh water we are doing at last because it promotes dryness. Okay, the hole will dry much faster and quickly. So these are the types of cleaning that you will be carrying out with the hold. And this concludes the hold preparation topic.